Hello there guys, welcome to Hero Graphics Sir. Today we're gonna be working with as a stock image that I rendered previously before doing this video, and a background. So what a lot of people I seen, shout out to Fakey by the way, because he's the guy that made me want to do this. Now I saw Fakey, he really got some motivation, and it seems like he really wants to learn, and he's really trying. Now he just reminded me to myself, because I remember when I first started graphic designing, I used to do designs like every 20 seconds, which I found out later that is really a bad idea, because you run out of creativity, you run out of imagination, you just overdo it that it won't work at the end. So try to take it slow. Don't do graphic design every single day, but do just simple editings. Don't try to come out with the whole theme or something like that. This is just out of the topic, but I'm just telling this to Fakey. Other than that, we're gonna be working with this image, and I'm gonna pick this image to point out some very good reasons for you guys. Now let's take a look at this. Let's examine every single piece of tool that we're gonna be working with. Now I call it tool, you can call it whatever. Every single image we're gonna be working with. Now if we take a look at this image, it seems like it has some sort of like environmental theme, some ecology theme, some flowerish theme. It has to do with nature, with the ground, with this thing that's about to, a flower's gonna come out of here sooner or later, whatever. It's kind of like a environmental theme, like it has to do with nature. So that's one thing. We're gonna take a look. This is gonna be our background. Now our image that I rendered, I didn't I rendered this image to show you guys some really good points about it. So holy fuck, I was supposed to place it. There we go. Hold on, give me 1 second. And here we go. So we take a look at the image. Now we got so many flaws here, so many mistakes, so many bad things, and I did this on purpose so you guys can see. And see, actually I did it so obvious. Now number one, we're gonna be taking a look at the very most common mistakes people do when they start doing graphic design. And sadly enough, there are still some people, they call themselves graphic designers, and they still make these really basics mistakes, which is not professional at all. So we're gonna take a look at this. First off, we got three problems. Number one, the the background and the normal image, which is the render image. We're gonna call it the render image, which is the girl, and the background image, which is the nature kind of thing. The themes do not go well. The themes do not match up. Now this is like sort of like a nature theme in the background, and in the render this is like a girl with a flower, some sort of romantic theme, some sort of maybe she's a model or something. So those two things don't go well. This has nothing to do with it. So that's number one mistake. Number one mistake. The second most mistake a lot of people do, and this is not in order by the way. Dimensions. Take a look at this. If we take a look at the background, we actually realize that the background, it's let's take a look at the ground here. There's a ground. So when you stand up on a ground, on surface, what you're gonna see is what should be doing here. We should be working with a render that has a foot, has foot, feet, or either a feet or foot. You know what I'm saying? Standing up here. But this girl a midget? I don't think so. So the dimensions are not right. It's impossible that this girl is the same size as this thing that is soon gonna be a flower. There's no way. So take that in consideration unless you're gonna do a surrealistic sort of thing, graphic design, which it really doesn't go well at all. So this is impossible. This is ridiculous. I never seen a girl this little, so you know what I'm saying. Do you guys get the idea? I don't know. I'm trying to find the words and I'm trying to explain it as easy as possible. And the third mistake everybody do, which is the most common, when people render image, when people render an image out of when people render images, they actually you can do so many things. You can render in so many ways. You can either use the lasso tool. I've seen people do render things with the lasso tool. um, you can actually use the magic eraser tool as well to render things out. you can use the pen tool. Now the pen tool, it all depends. You can use so many things, but things that you gotta take in consideration, which I'm gonna talk about in the next tutorial. So never mind, just forget it. But one thing everybody does make mistake is when they render these things so fast. They don't even take the time to do it precisely. So as you can see, and hopefully you guys can see, there are white lines here in the edges of her body because I did this so fast and didn't do it precisely, so it's kind of obvious. Now I'm gonna teach you how to do it. There's two ways you can get rid of these white lines. Number one, which I don't recommend you unless it's not a biggie, there's not too much white lines, but here is so much white lines. So you can do number one, which I don't recommend you guys, is take a soft brush and start erasing. I mean, take an eraser and then pick a soft brush here, pixel like 18 pixel, whatever the pixel needed to erase the white lines, and do so. Or you can blend the background with the image, which it's gonna do two things. It's gonna get rid of the white lines, and as you can see here, it looks like this girl. I just rendered it out and pasted it on the background. It just looks pasted. There's no blend, there's no flow. It doesn't seem like she belongs there, you know. She just pasted. Now when you actually blend your background with your image, it gets rid of, like I said, it gets rid of the white lines, and it actually makes the image and the background blend together like it belongs there. Of course, since the dimensions and the things do not match, it's not gonna look very good, but still I'm gonna show you guys how to do so. So what you're gonna do is that you're gonna take your background here, and I'm sorry if I'm going too fast. You can watch this as much as possible, watch it so many times. And what we're gonna do here, this is I just went over the very basic mistakes people do, and now I'm gonna teach you how to fix one of them. So we're gonna teach you how to make an image blend with the background. That's what I'm trying to teach you guys. So we're gonna take the background here, layer 0, and we're actually gonna duplicate. Once you duplicate, take one layer of the background and put it on top of the render. So the render disappears, of course, because this background is on top of the render. Now what you're gonna do is that you're actually gonna take this background layer, which is on top of your render, and you're gonna lower the opacity to a percentage where you can see clearly the other layer. So I would recommend you guys, it depends, it really doesn't matter. It could be 43%, 56, really doesn't matter as long as you can see the other image. And what we're gonna take is pretty much take the eraser tool. The pixel of this is gonna be a little bit bigger so we can go faster. And what we're gonna do here carefully is that we're gonna actually erase over her, erase everywhere over her only, but the edges. We're not gonna erase the edges. So make sure you click on your background layer and start erasing here carefully. I'm erasing right now her face, her mouth, her hair, but I'm not erasing the edges. The edges. Why not the edges? Because if we erase the edges, pretty much it's gonna be pointless. What we're doing right here is we're actually taking the background image, putting it on top of her, and erase the where she is. That way the background image is gonna be everywhere on top of her, but the place where we erase. So hopefully you guys understand, you know what I'm saying, and that's why I'm doing it, showing you guys. I'm not erasing the edges, that way it will look very nice and very well blend. So here we go carefully. Now her chest, her neck, this part of her hair, but the edges, not the edges. We don't want to. Oh, I erased the edges. You can press Control Alt Z to start over. And here we go carefully once again. Do not erase the edges. Here we go. I gotta make sure here her chest again, all over again. I gotta do this, redo this, and everywhere but the edges again. Again, guys, this is just very basic and simple. Here we go, her arm carefully. You can actually lower the pixel when you move to smaller places to do it precisely and very detailed. That way, detail is the key. Patience and detail. It's all you need for graphic designing. So as you can see here, I'm actually gonna lower the pixel even more so I can erase this thumb right here without touching the edges, because I don't want to touch the edges whatsoever. And here we go. Once you do this, guys, you're gonna take the background and put it back to 100% opacity. And there you go. Now look at this. There's a massive, incredible difference between these. This is the final outcome. We actually made the image blend with the background. By that we mean it looks like the image is coming out of the background. It looks like the image belongs to the background. The image does not look pasted at all. This is the final outcome. This was before. Before looks horrible. You see the wild lines. You see this thing is pasted, and that's it. That's no art. Here, bam! It looks well blended. It just there's just a 360 change. Wow! You see, wow, boo, boo. That's horrible. Wow. Boo. Wow. You see, it's just incredible, guys. Hopefully, you guys learn how to blend images with background. And I know this is gonna be like a what, 11-minute tutorial. That's crazy, but it is worth it. And I assure you guys that after you practice this and you master this, there's gonna be a massive improvement from being a novice graphic designer, and you'll be professional. You will look professional. You won't actually miss those little details which are very very basic yet very important when it comes to professional graphic designing. This was your boy HeroCore. I'm out this thing. Peace.